Hey everybody, good to see all of you. Welcome in here today. It is so good to see all of you. It is 5 o'clock Pacific time. It is 7 o'clock Central time. Wherever you are, I hope it's been a good day so far or that it's a good morning. I'd love to hear from every single one of you, and I see you're already going in chat. You know exactly what we do. Hello from where? Where are you? I would love to hear from you. I see a couple of you. Hello from Toronto. Hello from Botswana. On to Let's Matabe. Good to see you in here. West on Oregon. Montana. Okay, good to see you. Radel says SoCal here. Interesting. Okay, I just got back from SoCal. Did a big, giant podcasting tour down there, so I'm glad you're in here. Hello from Alberta, Canada. Brit Dot, I'm glad that you're here today. Good to see you and welcome in here. Sarasota, Florida. Wisconsin. Right there in the hometown. Hong Kong. Fascinating, Max. Well, I'm glad that you're here. I don't even know what time it is for you, but I'm really happy that you are here and ready to learn about your relationships. That tells me a lot about you. Welcome. Very glad to see you. Everybody in here, thank you for popping in here tonight with me, or today, or whatever time it may actually be for you, but I'm glad that you are all here. Hello from Wyoming. Quebec, says Wendy. Good to see you. Brave Communication, also Alberta, Canada. Southeast England, says Thrashteroid. What city in Southeast England, or town? Which one are you in? Hamlet? Village? Where are you at? Georgia and still single, says JGJ. Glad to have you in here, though. You're in a lot of these live streams, and I appreciate you. From Bakersfield, California, Amor Marie. Love Marie. I was actually just not too far from Bakersfield. San Francisco Bay Area, Keegan. Roseville, California, says Rebecca. Nice, Rebecca Glass. Glad to have you in here. Scottsdale, Arizona. White Two Robos. I'm often there myself. I love that area. And New Zealand, says Leah. Everybody, wherever you're from, I'm glad you're here tonight. Glad you're here. I got chat open right here, so I'm watching you guys as we go. Now, tonight, I have something incredible for you. I have a lot of new things that I've never shared here on this channel before. I have a lot of new ideas, a lot of new methodologies, a lot of information you need if you want to build a healthy, thriving relationship. I'm here today for that. If you've been waiting for more and for new, today's your day. You know me, I'm always working on the new and latest ideas. I'm what we call a synthesist. I go out and I pull ideas from researchers and theorists and people from all over the globe in other fields, and I pull them together and synthesize, and I've built what we call attachment science. Attachment science is the synthesis of all these different ideas, including attachment theory, including cutting-edge neurological research and neurobiological research and hormonal research and behavioral research, and all of these pieces fitted together, synthesized into attachment science. Tonight, I want to take attachment science another leap forward, and you get to join me on that. I am so excited to share this with you as we roll through. I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions, and I want to hear from you in chat. Blow it up. Tell me what's winning and tell me what you're confused about, because it's all good. There is no not good. It is all going to be excellent here tonight. This is excellent stuff that I've pulled, and again, I can't wait to share it with you. Very, very excited to see you guys in here tonight. As we go through this, we're going to get very, very real. I want to be honest with you. This is not going to be a live stream for the faint of heart. This is a live stream for people who are serious about changing their relationships. And when you're here right now from all over the world, when you could be anywhere else, I know that's you. Let's get right into this. You know me. I've got a beautiful, beautiful deck to show you over here on my side, and it's going to roll us through exactly what you need to know. As we go, I'm going to be having you take notes. I highly recommend it. There will be a replay, but I'll be bluntly honest with you. I'll always be honest with you, but right now I'm going to be very blunt. When you write things down, you often process them differently. So if you're like me and you want to retain as much information as you can, I highly recommend you get out a pad of note paper and a pen, or run and grab one right now and take some detailed notes, because you are going to need them, and it will help your memory as you roll through this. I do not want you to miss out as we go through. Okay? Very, very, very important that you have that and that you feel in control of your own learning. So, very, very, very glad that you guys are here tonight indeed. You get to finally see this new, incredible thing I've been waiting so long to share. Now, I want to say this. Picture this. Okay? There it is right there. Picture this. My heart goes out to a lot of people who have attachment issues, but I see primarily 4 main groups of people. You are probably going to find yourself in one of these. As we go through them, what I want you to do is lay out in chat which one you are. Say, this is me, I'm number 1, I'm number 2, or even just put a number. If it feels a little too personal, say, I am number 1, put 1, 2, 3, or 4, okay? One of these is going to be one of you. I want you to picture something right now with me. Wherever you're watching from, I'm going to ask you a question. Which of these sounds like you? First picture, number 1. Drop it in chat if this is you. You and your partner are locked in the same argument again and again and again and again. Maybe you're in it right now. Maybe it's about how disconnected you feel. Maybe it's about money or time or who does what in the house. It does not really matter what that fight's about because you've noticed something. This exact argument has been happening for months. Not even months, probably years. Now, you've tried talking about it calmly. You've tried walking away during conversations when they get too heated. You've tried having the conversation when things are good, but nothing sticks. So by hour 3 of this conversation, every time, you're not even fighting about the issue anymore. You're fighting about the fighting. And tomorrow you're going to wake up and nothing will have changed. Let me know. Drop a 1 in chat if this is you guys. Let me know 1 if this is you. I see a lot of numbers in chat. Let me know if number 1 if this is you. There's 4 of these, okay? Second one. Put a 2 if this one's you, okay? Number 2. You are not in a relationship right now, or maybe you just got out of a relationship. You're going through a solo period right now in your life. And the fear that's sitting with you in that solo period is this. What if I do it again? What if I pick the same person with a different face? What if the problem isn't the people I pick? What if it's me? You may not trust yourself to build something different because you don't know what's actually driving the pattern, and you're afraid it's just going to repeat. Put a 2 in chat if this is you right now. Drop me a 2 if this is you. Okay, I see some 2s in there. I still see some 1s. I see it. People are going. Okay. I see it. I see it. Alchemist says 1, but it's over. Okay, I'm going to have 1 for you here coming up before too long. A lot of 1s, a lot of 2s. Here we go. Okay. There's a lot of people resonating with you, but not all of you. Okay, number 3 is probably going to be you, some of you then. Okay, put a 3 if this one's you. You're doing the work. You're reading, you're watching, you're growing, and your partner is not. They're not on board. They're not listening. They're not doing it. They're not doing the game. They're not doing the conversations, and you can't force them to change. Every framework you learn, every insight you have, every Adam Lane Smith video that you watch that you want to implement at home, all it does is show you that you're trying to apply it alone in a relationship that still runs on an old system, and you're stuck and you're frustrated. It's exhausting and it's lonely in a very specific way. If you're in this one, put a 3 in chat for me. And this one breaks my heart because there's a lot of good people stuck in this one right here. Okay, I see some 3s in there. Yep. Wait, I'm 3, Lisa says. Yep, there we go. That's what I figured. There's a lot of people in this one. A lot of these people do come to me in this phase right here. A lot of honesty tonight, and I appreciate that. Thank you, you guys. Okay. Let's do number 4, because some of this is you. 4th picture. And this is actually a lot of people who come to me. You and your partner are not at war, but you're not really connected either. The romance has just gone quiet. You're building a life together. Maybe you're raising kids, but you're building something real, probably. But the relationship feels like it's on autopilot. Your roommates, your partner's just on business, but not in the bedroom. And you both know it. You can't even remember the last time you went on a date that you actually enjoyed. Maybe you don't even know when you went on a date or had a vacation together. Neither of you knows what to do about it. You're just both kind of quiet. And somewhere underneath all of that, there's a fear that if you don't figure this out, you're going to look back in 20 years and realize you never built what you actually wanted. And you don't even know if you'll be together in 20 years. In fact, you're kind of dreading that you're going to be together still in 20 years. Give me a 4 if that's you. I put that one in there on purpose because it doesn't get a lot of attention. There's not a lot of exploding. There's not a lot of misery in it that people understand. But when you're in it, it's just a very quiet, desperate starvation. So are you having the same fight? Number one. Are you single and afraid of your pattern? Number two. Are you working on it, but you're by yourself in the working? Number three. Or are you just kind of disconnected? Number four. I see a lot of numbers in there, you guys. Good, good, good. Tom says 4. I got you, Tom. I got you. That's actually not a terrible place to be, because what you need is solutions. You need systems. Most marriages don't have systems. Heaven says, no quality time. He addresses little things. We're doing individual. I got that. You need a system. Marriages need systems. That's really how they thrive. If you don't have a system, things really don't work very well. Now, for those of you who are new, and some of you are, I'm going to say this. Welcome to my channel. I'm Adam Lane Smith, and I am very glad you're here today. Many of you have been here for years and years and years, some of you for 4 years, and I am very grateful for you. Let me reintroduce myself. Look at that smart, dapper young man. I love that picture. That is the vest that my daughter says matches my beard and matches her hair. So it's a little family thing for you. There you go. I'm Adam Lane Smith. My name is Adam Lane Smith, and I have to go by Adam Lane Smith because Adam Smith is an old Scottish economist. So whenever you want to look me up, you look up Adam Lane Smith. I'm a former licensed marriage and family therapist. I have over 16 years of training and experience in the field. I left my therapy practice for a very specific reason. I'm going to tell you exactly why here in a few minutes. Some of you know that story. It's a big one. Since leaving therapy, my team and I have coached over 7,500 clients through my methodology. Couples, individuals, executives, families, everybody across 6 continents. The only continent we haven't coached somebody from is Antarctica. I've spent over a decade doing one thing and one thing only, translating the neuroscience of attachment into practical frameworks that people can actually use. And I will say this, I'm damn good at it. It's one thing I take very much pride in. I am not going to stand here tonight and tell you that I have every single answer to every single relationship on the planet. But what I will tell you is that I've identified a precise mechanism, a very specific biological operating system that determines whether your relationships run on scarcity or sustainability. It's a binary. I'll talk to you about that a little bit later. And once you see it, you cannot unsee that binary. It's going to change everything for you tonight. Now, what I'm going to share with you today is the foundation of everything I teach. This is the system. So whether you walk away from this masterclass and implement it all on your own, totally fine, or you decide you want to go deeper, you're going to leave this session with a fundamentally different understanding of exactly why your relationships work the way they do and exactly what it takes to change all of that. That is my job here tonight, and I'm excited about it. I hope you're excited too. I hope you can feel the vibes. There we go. All right. I'm looking at chat right now. I see people still dropping some numbers. We're still rolling in. Good, good, good. Working on secure with Adam, says Jeanette. And today, Jeanette, good to see you. Very glad to see you. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right. Now, I want you to understand this, because once you begin understanding why things run the way they do, things will start to make sense. Before we talk about how to fix anything, I really need to show you what's actually driving your problem. Because here's the thing, and I want to say this very clearly for those of you who are out there. You are not the problem. It's going to be a big relief for a lot of you with anxious attachment style. You are not the problem. Your partner is also not the problem. The problem really here, the problem is the pattern that is running. Let me explain to you what an actual attachment pattern is, okay? And I'm taking my time on this because I want you to hear, you are not a problem and neither is your partner. The pattern is the issue. Now, an attachment pattern, you've heard of attachment styles. An attachment pattern is an automatic neurobiological system that's running in your nervous system, a program that was written in childhood before you ever had any say in the matter. And it has been running every single one of your close relationships ever since. And that attachment pattern has 4 components that fire off in sequence. First is your algorithm, okay? Your algorithm, your attachment algorithm. Your algorithm is the core belief that your brain encoded about how relationships work. It's what love means. It's whether people are safe, whether you are worth caring for. It's an if-then formula. If someone gets close to me, they will eventually abandon me. If someone is quiet, then it means they are angry with me. If I show vulnerability, then I will be punished for it. Your algorithm is not conscious, by the way. It's not you just sitting there thinking that. It's not a decision. It's a program running everything else. It's running under your brain, under your mind, under your feelings, under your romance, under your desire, everything. It's number one, algorithm. Number two, your trigger. Something happens, it's a tone of voice, it's a pause in a text conversation, it's a change in someone's facial expression, and your algorithm activates in a moment. The trigger does not have to be dramatic. It's often invisible to the other person, by the way. So it might be they just look at you for an extra heartbeat with a flat expression, and your nervous system spikes because it thinks they're angry. They're thinking carefully, or they're tired, but you swear they're angry at you now. You know what I mean. You guys know. Drop me a yes in chat, you guys, if you know exactly what I mean on this structure. Okay? Let me know. If you know what I mean, drop a yes. I'm going to wait for that in chat right now. Give me a yes. I see people still dropping their numbers, which is great. That means people are popping in and they're having a good time. I love it. I love these things. I love getting to interact with you guys here. So I see you in the chat. Give me a yes if that's making sense to you. I'm going to go on and hit number 3 and then come back to it. The third part is your nervous system state. The moment your algorithm fires off, your nervous system shifts into a specific state. Now, this is your limbic system. You got 4 of them, the 4 Fs. Fight. I am scared, so I must fight. Flight. F-L-I-G-H-T. I am scared, so I must flee. Okay? 3. Fawn. F-A-W-N. Fawn. I must people please and make people feel good so they don't hurt me. And number 4, if nothing else works, freeze. The 4th F is freeze. Fight, flight, fawn, and freeze. Your body is now operating from a threat response, and even if the room is perfectly safe in reality, you perceive danger, and you're now in one of those 4 Fs. Or if you're loud, disorganized, you're in many of those different Fs. And if you're avoidant, you have stopped giving an F. That is how that rolls. I see a lot of yeses in there. Okay, there we go. Yes, absolutely yes, I see. Yes, says Owen. Yes, says Amal. Glad to have you here. Yes, says Michelle. Yes, says Jennifer, but I thought it was because I'm an empath. I hear, your mirroring neurons are hyperactive when people are in attachment issues. And some of us might call that being an empath. I hear that. I fawned until I could get away, says TK. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that one too. Okay. We're going to keep on rolling here. The fourth is really where things get ugly, you guys, because up till now, everything's been internal. Up till now, your algorithm runs, you get triggered, your nervous state goes off, everything's inside, and you haven't done anything yet, which leads into number 4, the reaction. This is the behavior that everybody around you sees. The escalation, the shutdown, the argument that starts over nothing, the wall going up. It's that desperate reach for reassurance. This is you asking, are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? This is you asking, are you okay? Did I do something wrong? This is you people pleasing. This is you walking away. This is you shutting down. Whatever it is, you react. Now keep in mind, this has nothing to do with actual reality. It's what you've perceived. This is the part people usually try to fix. They ignore the first 3 and just start punishing themselves for doing number 4. They think if they can just control number 4, the problem will be solved. Here's what makes this absolutely so important to understand. Your attachment algorithm fires 5 times faster than conscious thought. So by the time you decide you want to respond differently, your pattern has already launched and you're probably already doing it. You cannot outthink something that fast. You have to understand the system you're actually dealing with. If you blink right now, that is slower than as fast as your algorithm activates. A blink is too slow. That's what we're going to be working on here today, is showing you exactly how to actually interrupt this pattern so that you're not living it in anymore and you can actually start being the way you want to be. Now, to get there, we have to talk about where this came from, because your algorithm did not appear out of nowhere. It was written for you by the very first relationships you ever had. Before you had language, before you had memories that you can consciously activate, before age 5, and in most cases before age 3, from birth till age 3, your brain was watching and experiencing your caregivers. It was using mirroring neurons to copy the nervous system states of the people who raised you, or to follow through on what it thought it had to feel in their presence. And from those experiences, you built a model. This is what relationships are. This is how love works or doesn't. And this is what safety looks like and feels like and how I get it. This is what happens when things go wrong. And this is how I get safety when no one will give it to me. We call that model your imprinted family model, by the way. That became your operating system. Every relationship you've ever run since then has been running on that operating system. My brain and your brain, I had attachment issues when I grew up too. They were shaped in childhood. The brain is not doing this to sabotage you, though. It built the best model it could from the data that it had. If you took an AI right now and did nothing but torture it and make it terrified, it would turn into an insecurely attached AI because you trained it to be that way. I want you to apply that same model to your nervous system. Your nervous system and brain learned much like an AI. You gave it specific data that scared it. That doesn't mean the entire world is scared. It means the person who trained that AI or that nervous system, your caregivers, made it believe terror was the right response. You've been running a system that was built for an environment that you are no longer in now as an adult. What we want to do is build something, the alternative, called the intentional family model. This is the operating system you build deliberately through skills that you actually learn, through experiences you create, through conscious choices you make in real relationships. It does not replace the imprinted model overnight, but it does replace it. That's the target. It replaces it over time. That's not a metaphor, by the way. That's neuroplasticity. Neuro meaning brain and plastic meaning moldable. Your brain is moldable. It rewires through consistent new relational experiences. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about doing here today. I would love to hear from you guys. Who was it? Who was the primary person that taught you to be afraid in relationships? And this is not to demonize. I'm going to be very careful. This is not to demonize your caregiver. This is specifically to understand who trained you. Drop in chat for me. Was it mom, dad, uncle, grandma, grandpa, my social worker, my adopted parents, my foster mom? Who taught you to be afraid in relationships? And again, this is not you saying they're an evil person. This is you saying they trained you. Angel Baldwin says, my mother. Excel says, my mother. Global Resources, my dad. My mother and father, says Monkey Business. Yes, mother and siblings, all narcissists, Sandra says. Brutal. Brutal. My parents, says Thea. My mother was hot and cold, says Christian. Boy, have I got a video on this channel about that. Don't forget to watch it after this live stream. Doing EMDR to figure it out now, says Weston. I hear that. Mom one way, dad another. It's usually what I hear. You know, both parents did program you in some way. They did. Thank you for being honest, everybody. I appreciate you. They did. They programmed you in some way. And again, not to demonize, but it happens. And we have to deal with it. That leads us to this next question. Why does the past actually matter? I get this question a lot, and it's honestly usually from people who are sick to death of rehashing feelings and childhood in therapy. And I fully understand that. I don't advocate for that at all. Here's the question most people really never think to ask, though, right? They know the past shaped them. Fine, great. But why does it keep mattering today in your adult relationships right now? If I'm aware of it, why can't I just decide to be different? That's a great question. The answer is honestly the most important concept that I teach. And I'm going to show you a new methodology I've not showed anyone on this channel or on social media ever before. I'm going to show you right now because the rest of this masterclass builds on top of it. If you've been waiting for a deeper understanding, this is it today. So I'm glad you're here. Pay very close attention. Do not miss, especially the next 10 minutes, because this is going to change everything you've ever understood about relationships. Ever. Period. I'm going to say something that's going to break your mind just a little bit. Attachment is not a spectrum. Attachment is not 4 different types. Yes, there's attachment styles. Attachment is not a spectrum, though. Okay? That's not the thing. There are 2 very different concepts of relationships, and they exist on a very, very important framework. You with me so far? You ready? Give me a yes if you're ready, because I really want this to hit for you guys. This changed everything for me when I got this. This changed everything for me. Give me a yes if you're ready for this, because it will change the way you see relationships forever. It really honestly changed everything for me. So I'm excited to bring it to you guys right now. This is something I've been working on. I've been waiting for the right time to deploy it. So today is the day I get to actually share it with you. Okay, see some yeses. Owen, Thrashdroid, Wolfenhime. I like it. Brian, Crystal Rogers, glad you're here. Cecile, Monkey Business. Yes, I see some big yeses going on. Love it, love it, love it. Okay? We're going to do this then. Here we are. Click into it here. I'm going to show you this. There's a binary. There's an actual binary that changes everything. Okay? It honestly changes everything. The binary is this. There's an insecure relationship model. You grew up in a home where emotional resources felt scarce to you. Unconditional, right? Conditional, reliable. This is the model your brain learned to use. With the insecure operating system. Best way to say this is this. Attachment is a binary. You either are secure or you are not. You exist either in a model that says relationships are feelings or something else. And I'm going to show you something else here in a moment. If you exist in the insecure operating system, between secure and secure, the relationship is only the feelings you have at any given moment. It's what we call the feelings and services model. There is no accumulated loyalty that carries forward, either because you are anxious and you don't believe you're worthy of it, or you are avoidant and you don't believe anyone else is capable of it. There is no past. There is only an endless, miserable present. There is no structural commitment that holds during hard seasons. The relationship itself is just the feelings between the two of you. I want you to think of it this way. Your relationships are nothing more than weather. It's the current weather of the day. And that means everything is contingent on that weather. If things feel good, the relationship feels real and safe at the moment. The moment things go cold or distant, conflicted, stormy, lightning, dry, the entire relationship is suddenly in question that very second. You are always unconsciously checking the weather and asking, do they still feel the same? Am I still enough? Is this still real? This is the services and feelings mentality. This is why at the very beginning of my work, I didn't talk about attachment styles at all. I refused to. I talked about attached people and detached people. Attached and detached. That's what I need you to really hold on to today, is secure or insecure. Secure or insecure. That's all. If you want to have a style that describes how you react to that difference, fine. The attachment style, the attachment algorithm, the attachment pattern, it's how you react to being insecure. But it is one single binary. It is a single binary. That's all. I need you to remember that. And that's all you have to remember. Your feelings are the weather, and that's it. How you feel at the moment is everything, and that's the only thing creating safety for you. If that's you, and I see a lot of you in chat, endless miserable present, says history. Yes. Wow, says Wolfenhime. Great, I got you. Making me tear up, says Monkey Business. I got you. This is what many people are being trained into. The research says 65%. It is a binary. I don't need you to remember every attachment style. I need you to remember the binary from now on, going forward, okay? The structure is feelings, and feelings move around. They change. That's it. Now, here's what's happening in your system inside this. I told you it was going to be raw tonight. Some of you are tearing up and choking up. You're having a big experience right now. That is good. Let yourself feel it, because you probably don't let yourself feel very many things. Practice being in the discomfort right now. That is a good experience. We need this right now. Okay? I'm with you guys. We're okay. We're going to do this. But here's what I need you to know. The insecure operating system doesn't just feel bad. It has a very specific neurobiological signature. When your insecure attachment pattern activates, your sympathetic nervous system engages. This is the same system that fires when you are in physical danger. Your threat detection circuits go online. And then your prefrontal cortex, that part of your brain that's responsible for perspective, long-term thinking, nuanced reasoning, even language, begins to suppress. And your amygdala, that brain's fear center, becomes dominant. From the inside, A lot of you are saying in chat, constantly watching. Hyper-vigilant is the word we use. Hyper-vigilant. I want you guys to write that one down. Type it in chat if you need to, but remember that writing helps you remember things. Your brain catalogs it differently. Hyper-vigilant. That is the phrase I need you to start remembering, because when you're insecurely attached, you have to be hyper-vigilant. This is what creates what we call attachment fatigue. I've been teaching inside my group coaching process, my group coaching system lately about attachment fatigue. It is the hypervigilance where you are never, ever, ever allowed to rest. That's the exhaustion of emotional weather monitoring. The inability to ever fully exhale or relax in the relationship. Actually, literally, because your vagus nerve in your chest crimps your lungs and won't let you fully inhale or fully exhale. Their breathing gets screwed up. This is your body on the binary. Then your brain, your nervous system, when it gets activated, everything changes. Your system locks down. You can't breathe. Your stomach hurts. You're sweating. You're terrified. I see the hypervigilant in chat. That's it. That's it right there. Hypervigilant. Hypervigilant. I breathe so shallowly, says Britt. That's it. Rapid, shallow breaths, rapid heart rate, sweats, cold, freezing, tremors, nausea. There's threat detection circuits emerging and activating. Your amygdala is fearful and becomes dominant over time. Your cortex, your prefrontal cortex is suppressed more often. More of the time you spend in fear mode instead of logical mode. And that's where you make your life decisions. About work, about family, about friends, about hobbies, about interests, about where you live, about how much money you spend, about your partner, about when you have sex in the dating process. All your decisions are made from a fear center. What does that mean in your real life? It means you stop being able to consider any kind of context. You can't hold a balanced, accurate picture of your partner, yourself, your situations. You're in an endless survival state, checking the weather constantly. Your brain's job is just to manage immediate threats, not even to build something, not to understand something, just to survive the next 30 seconds. That's all your brain cares about. This is why every attempt to resolve conflict from the inside that state just fails. You can't negotiate clearly when your system is turned off. And I'm going to say this, you're not choosing to be unreasonable, you're running a system, or a system is running you. That's the real thing here, is the system's running you. Now, across that binary, the secure system. The other operating system is where you want to be. This is the secure model. I want you to notice this immediately. It's not just feelings are better in the relationship. That's not how this works. It's a completely different definition of what a relationship even is. In the secure operating system, a relationship is not the feelings or the weather. I want you to really feel this for a moment. A relationship, when it's secure, is a third-party entity. It's a living structure that both people plant together, tend together, and are fed by together. One image I use with a lot of people is a fig tree. When I was a little boy, I had a fig tree in my yard. I loved that fig tree. It was a wonderful thing. Fig trees they're biblical, they're cultural in so many different places. I want you to imagine, day one, you meet someone in the dating process. You shake hands and you plant a little fig tree in the ground between you. It's just a little trembling thing. Now, every conversation you have, every shared experience, every act of care, every moment you navigate something hard together, that's watering, nurturing, and sheltering that tree. One of you is holding a tarp over the tree when it's raining. The other one is tending the leaves. You're feeding it. You're fertilizing it. You're watering it. And here's the amazing part. It's not the absence of difficulty that makes that tree grow. Wind actually makes trees stronger. When you raise trees without wind, they start to crumble. The resistance makes them more powerful. Rain and water and everything makes them grow and shapes them. Here's the thing. That fig tree grows up into an amazing, beautiful, towering tree that feeds both of you. You both get to feed from the tree. I'll show you what that looks like later. This is not a metaphor. The tree biochemically feeds you when it's done right. But here's the magic. When we take care of each other, we're actually taking care of the tree, which is actually taking care of ourselves. It is not a selfishness model. This is not, I'm only caring about you to get my food from the tree. When I care for you fully, the tree grows and I also get to win. We win together. Your well-being is not a drain on my resources anymore. Your success is not a threat to me anymore. We are both being fed by the same tree. And the better I care for you, the better the tree grows and the more it feeds me. This removes that stupid zero-sum dynamic that exhausts so many insecure relationships. Caring for you becomes caring for me. It's structurally built right in. This is no longer monitoring the weather. It's taking care of your tree together as a couple. You with me? Give me a yes in chat if this is, you know what? Give me a fig. Give me a fig in chat. F-I-G. Give me a fig in chat if this is making sense. Give me a fig. I love fig trees. I love figs. My kids eat an overwhelming amount of figs. It's an ecosystem. Britt, you stay with me because we've got something to go through. We're not even close to done yet. But give me a fig in chat, guys. I'm waiting for it. I've got a yes from Brian because I said yes first. Thank you, Brian. Phoenix. Good to see you, Phoenix. Fig. Okay, Britt. Heaven. Fig. Trinit. Fig. A history. Fig. I love this. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You guys are hearing, you're hearing it and you're feeling it. Okay. This is good. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay. It's making sense. I knew it would. I was so excited to bring this to you guys tonight. This is exactly why. Okay. Let's talk then. Let's talk. What's happening in your nervous system here? In a secure nervous system, this is the first time many of you are going to have this image right here. In a secure operating system, it has its own neurobiological signature. It's not the absence of sympathetic activation I just described. Sympathetic nervous system is all the fear we talked about a moment ago, the hypervigilance. This is a completely different operating system. It's called your parasympathetic nervous system. It's not just that you're not scared anymore. It's a different system that biochemically operates different in your body. Your hormones and nervous system are different. Your biology is different. Everything is different when you are in the parasympathetic mode. The binary is not I'm scared or I'm not scared. The binary is I am in survival mode or I am in growth and thriving mode. It's one or the other. And it has to be one or the other. Very important. Now, when the parasympathetic nervous system is online, your prefrontal cortex is fully, completely accessible. That means you can think about nuance, you can reason, you can justify things in the right way, you can maintain perspective, you can think about goals and ethics, you can have boundaries, you can say no calmly and mean it. You are taking deep, full breaths, you are relaxed, you are smiling, you are talking calmly. You genuinely care about the history between you and your partner, and that larger picture beyond today makes sense. You're not obsessed with the endless, miserable present. Your time horizon expands. You can think about yesterday, today, even 10 years from now at the same time. There's something here called the secure love equation. This is what me and my team teach right here. It's the neurochemical cascade of secure attachment. You are flooded with oxytocin and vasopressin bonding hormones. Most of you know about those from talking here on my channel. There's a million videos on those. In the parasympathetic, you are flooded with good oxytocin and vasopressin. You get deep, rich serotonin. And that means you're also releasing a lot of GABA to suppress cortisol. And by the way, you get a healthy flow of fun dopamine. But it's not the heart and soul of the equation. It's just a nice spice you add on top. And you are managing and suppressing the cortisol stress hormone. That cascade does not run correctly in your sympathetic system. Guys out there, when I was going through graduate school as a therapist, I was getting my master's degree in psychology as I was rolling into licensing. It took 9 years, by the way, to get that license before I turned it down, before I canceled my license and joined my coaching practice instead and built it. 9 years that I gave up there. It was hell. As I went through that, a lot of what I heard was all of these ideas of chemical imbalances causing mental health problems. Chemical imbalance, chemical imbalance, chemical imbalance. Why do we have chemical imbalances, I asked? Why are we the only species on the planet where an overwhelming number of us have these weird chemical imbalances? And I kept hearing, we don't know. 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 I'm showing you right now why we have massive chemical imbalances. This is what I firmly believe. We are spending so much time in our sympathetic nervous systems that we are chemically destroying ourselves. That's what I believe. Give me a yes in chat if this is making sense to you. Give me a yes in chat. Okay, I am going to have questions. I see good questions in the chat. I'm going to take Q&A at the end of this, so stick around to the Q&A at the end. Please, please, please stick around to the Q&A at the end. I don't want to miss you guys at the end. And I don't want you to feel like I'm not paying attention. I am. You got questions there. Q&A will be at the very end of this conversation. Okay? So, worst thing I can do is not respond to you guys. You guys have had a lifetime of that already. I don't want you to feel that way. But questions will come right at the end. Yes, okay. People are saying yes. Okay, see? This is making sense. When you synthesize the models together, all of a sudden we start to see a bigger picture. That's the piece. Now, I see a lot of yeses. Thank you, you guys see it like I do, and I love that. Okay? This is massive. Let me give you the clearest possible contrast on this binary before we move anywhere forward. The insecure operating system produces what I call scarcity-based relationships. Love feels scarce. Safety feels temporary. Resources, emotional, relational, even physical, feel like they could be taken away at any moment. This was you as a child. You programmed into perceived scarcity. Now, as an adult, you live in perceived scarcity. The entire relational existence that you live in is organized around managing that scarcity that you perceive. You are performing, therefore, to keep the other person happy enough to stay. You are monitoring the emotional weather of every interaction in case it kills resources faster. You're protecting yourself from the next rupture before it happens because of endless perceived scarcity. The secure operating system produces sustainability. In a family that grows up secure, the relationship is not a source of anxiety that has to be managed because you are nourished constantly. Your mother planted a fig tree with you and you've both been growing it. Your father planted a fig tree with you and you were both growing it. You and your siblings were guided into planting fig trees with each other. So if you have 2 siblings and 2 parents, you have 4 fig trees, 5 people. You have 4 fig trees that have been growing since childhood, that feed you and nurture you and shade you, and you have other people that are planting those fig trees, nurturing them with you, so that you don't have to be afraid. And then in childhood, you made 2 or 3 friends, and you were taught, so you planted fig trees with 2 or 3 friends. That's 7 fig trees. And then you're growing forward. Now you have 7 fig trees, and you decide to start dating. You are not starving and scared and alone. You are surrounded by nourishing fig trees everywhere you look. That's secure attachment. That's what most of you and most of us don't grow up with. So now you don't live surrounded by fig trees. You live surrounded by a barren desert that is starving you. You don't have to earn your place with secure attachment. Sustainability is a grove of fig trees feeding you. You don't have to perform for continued investment. They win when the tree is strong, so they have no reason to rip the tree out by the roots and laugh at you. They get fed too. That's the model here. That's the binary. Scarcity and starving in a desert, or surrounded by fig trees pouring fruit on your head. That's the binary. I'll say this very clearly one more time. Moving from scarcity to sustainability, that's the target. But it's not about being a better communicator. Do you see that now? This is not about communicating better or trying harder. It's not about going to more therapy. It's about switching operating systems completely. Only you can make that switch, and you can only make it when you understand what the switch actually is. That's what the rest of this masterclass is going to give you. So if this is hitting so far, do not go away. This is just the very beginning. Now, remember at the very beginning I said it's not you? I took some time saying that, didn't I? I lingered on it. It's not you, and it's not them. It's your nervous system. And it's running a system it was never taught to switch. I need to stop and say something that most people watching this need to hear right now. You are not broken. You are not broken. Your partner is not broken. This is why I hate healing language. I reject it categorically. People use it, and that's fine. But I reject it categorically. This is not you are broken and need to be fixed. This is not you are wounded and need to be healed. So the arguments you've had, the distance that's grown between maybe you and your partner or your previous partner, the patterns that keep repeating no matter how hard you try, none of that is evidence that you're a bad person or broken or wounded or that you chose the wrong partner or your relationship is beyond repair. It's evidence that both of you are running a scarcity operating system that was never designed for a sustainable relationship that you want to build. If you were never taught to plant fig trees, you're both standing there staring at each other in a desert saying, I'm hungry. So when your partner shuts down, withdraws, and goes silent when you need them most, that's not the real them. That's a nervous system in a state it was trained to enter decades before you ever met. When you mess up, that's you entering a system that was produced in you before you even had words. You didn't get a choice. So when you find yourself escalating, pursuing, saying things you don't mean just because you're terrified the connection is slipping away, just because the weather is scary, that is not who you are. That's a pattern that was imprinted on you before you had any say in that pattern. Okay? This is what I mean when I say, see the person behind the pattern. That's the title of this masterclass, the person behind the pattern. Part of that is seeing yourself behind your own pattern. Most of your life, you've been judging yourself based on your pattern, but you are a person. And your partner also is a person behind their pattern. This is why I really, really cringe when people say, my avoidant did this. No, your partner did that. They happen to be running a scarcity model that happens to be avoidant. The person you love is in there. The real them, the one who chose you, the one who cares about you, who wants this to work just as bad as you do. They're just as hungry standing in that desert, staring at you saying, I'm hungry. The real you is behind your pattern too. The work here is not to change who either of you are. The work is to see the pattern and then see through it to the person. And then to give both of you the operating system that lets real people actually show up. Making sense? The person, not the pattern. The person. This is everything. This is everything. I told you tonight was going to be new. It's a little bit back to the first thing I ever taught you guys on this channel. That attachment is a binary. You either are secure or you're not. Now, I want to say this. I want to give you the operating system to make this work. If you're really ready to get this going, I don't want to hold off on you anymore. If you're already ready, that link is in the chat. Stay with me if you want the full picture. If you're wanting to work with me and my team to make this work, I've got a coaching option, let's say. I've trained certified coaches, and I myself coach people to make this better. If you are ready to make this work, I'm going to pin a link in the chat that's going to drive you to a very special application. That application is to work in coaching with me and my team. There we go. Click that link if you just want to get some information. Okay, this is not a commitment. This is you signing up and getting some information to start working together with me and my team. If you're sick of this and you want to go across that binary and change it and go from scarcity to sustainable, from the dry desert to the fig tree feeding both of you, click that link, okay? It's pinned right now. For those of you who are ready to start, there you go. But I'd love to keep talking, so don't click off this masterclass just yet. Click that link, go through the application, and get that done. But here's what I want you to understand. You, as a human being, didn't get to choose the pattern imprinted on you, but you get to choose the system your relationship will run on. Here's the important thing I'm going to say here today. Secure attachment's not a trait. It's not something you have at birth or you don't. It's not determined by your childhood, by your past relationships. I was not securely attached in the way I was raised. Here's exactly what that choice looks like instead. Your insecure operating system fires when your nervous system activates in response to a trigger, because that algorithm fires faster than conscious thought. The switch happens in the gap, okay? Not before the trigger. You can't always prevent the trigger, but in the moment between the nervous system activating and the reaction, there's a choice there where you can regulate your nervous system and slow down that cascade enough to control the pattern. That's where you choose a response that builds a tree instead of ripping it out by the roots or obsessing over the weather. This is not a poetic idea, by the way. It's a specific trainable neurobiological skill. And the more times you make that choice successfully to pause, breathe, and redirect, the more times you interrupt the old pattern and install a new response. The weaker the old circuit becomes and the stronger the new one grows. Your brain is rewiring in real time every time you make that switch. At some point, the new one becomes the default. That's what changing your operating system looks like, and that is what I teach. Please take heart and have hope. There is so much hope, you guys. I don't want anyone to feel like there's not hope. Now, it does not take changing your partner. I hear this constantly. Adam, I cannot do this work because my partner won't engage. It's doomed. Or I can't build a secure relationship because they refuse to change. And I completely understand why it feels that way. When you've been trying to reach someone for years, and many of you said that at the beginning, that was your process right now and where you're stuck, every attempt feels like it ends in the same shutdown, the same argument. I hear that. It's reasonable to feel like what needs to happen is for them to become a fundamentally different person. But here's what 20 years of research and thousands of hours with clients has taught me. Trying to change who your partner is the wrong metric completely. What you need to change is the operating system you're running on. Both insecure patterns running, they don't respond to pressure to change. Pressure is the trigger. More pressure launches the pattern harder. When you understand how to see the person behind their pattern instead, when you stop relating to the shutdown, the escalation, that withdrawal as the real them, and you start just seeing their nervous system responding with fear, something changes. Your response to them changes. When your response changes, the dynamic changes. When you bend down and plant a fig tree and look up at them and say, help me with this. And they say, what do you mean? And you say, this is what we're doing. This will feed us now. And they watch you plant the tree and water it and nurture it. And they start to see it growing. And they finally understand. The research says 76% of the time, your partner will join you in nurturing that tree. 76%, but only when you start first. Now, I'm not telling you this will work in every case. Not every partner will respond to the change dynamic. You have a 3 in 4 chance, a 76% chance by the research. But understanding the operating and switching yours is the only lever that has any chance of shifting theirs. That's what the research says very, very clearly. Now, it does not take therapy. I'm going to say something here that requires a lot of context. I need you to understand. Honestly, I was a licensed marriage and family therapist for a long time. I spent years in that role. I worked with individuals and couples who came to me in genuine pain. And I left that practice for a specific reason, one that changed everything that I think about and how I work. Therapy as a profession usually prohibits therapists from telling clients what to do, to be honest with you. Legally, ethically, license-wise, insurance-wise, you can't really say what you think. That a pattern is messed up and you need to change it. Instead, therapists are taught that the client is the expert and the client knows what's best, and you just sit there and facilitate self-discovery. You hold space, you follow their lead, you allow insights. It's not a flaw in the individual therapist. Some of them are incredible. I knew some amazing colleagues. This is baked into the professional and legal and ethical framework of our profession. That means that therapy sessions for most attachment-related work becomes an endless, miserable space where you reactivate your triggers and nothing changes. I left therapy because I was not really allowed to do what my clients actually needed, and that was changing their patterns and telling them what was wrong. Coaching tells you what to do. That's the bluntest thing I can tell you. Coaching tells you what to do. Therapy often does not work. I have people come to me after 4, 5, 6 therapists or 10 to 20 years of therapy. If therapy was going to fix it, it would have by now. It also does not, and you'll love this, it does not take 3-hour arguments. If you're having 3-hour arguments in your relationship or 3-hour emotional discussions, that is not correct. This does not fix anything. Let me be very direct about this. If you're regularly having those conversations that run 3 hours and end without resolution, that's wrong. And you're not bad for doing it wrong. That's what probably your therapist taught you to do. Does not work. 3-hour arguments are not a sign of caring or trying hard. I mean, you do and you are, but that's not what it means. It's 2 people who are running co-disregulation, Many of you have heard of co-regulation. Co-disregulation is what I'm talking about here. Co-disregulation. Co-disregulation. This is a very, very important thing. I'm putting it in chat. Co-disregulation. You've heard of co-regulation. Let me introduce you to the horrible, horrible concept of what you've been living in. Co-disregulation. 3-hour arguments. When you are dysregulated and scared and stressed, and you set your partner off and they get dysregulated and they freak out, or when your partner is freaked out and stressed and it sets off your nervous system, co-disregulation. Every 3-hour argument you have is neurobiologically training your brain to associate your partner with a feeling of threat. We call that a cortisol association. That's a hardwired link between your partner and danger. And your brain starts to say, oh no, not you again. The solution, you'll be surprised to learn, is not another 3-hour conversation or a better 3-hour conversation. The solution is a completely different model that resolves the same issues in 3 minutes. Let me say that again, 3 minutes using a different operating system. When you're regulated, you have the right structure. Both people know the framework. The issues that used to take 3 hours take 3 minutes. Hard to believe? Let me show you. I'm excited for this one. 3-minute conversation. 3-minute conversation is exactly what it sounds like. Okay? It's a structured conversation that allows 2 people to resolve real issues in their relationship quickly, fast, without activating co-dysregulation loops that mess you both up. The principle is this: you don't need to have exhaustive emotional processing because that ruins you. Any conversation should be able to be resolved in 3 minutes or less when both people are fully regulated, when they have the right framework, the right setup, that the conversation is focused and structured instead of open-ended and emotionally driven. 3 minutes. And there are 5 specific conversations you must be able to have with your partner to build a secure, sustainable relationship. You want to go across that binary from dry, starving desert to a flooded, beautiful plain covered in fig trees. You and your partner standing there fed and nurtured. This is how you do it. 5 key conversations. We're going to go through them here tonight. Do not miss them. Don't leave. Don't miss them. Okay, 3 minutes. You might walk in and say something like this. A critical element, they have to be scheduled. Okay? These have to be fully scheduled. You do not ambush your partner. You do not catch them while they're half asleep or in the middle of something else. You say, I'd like to have a quick conversation on Saturday evening. Maybe just 3 minutes. I'll bring some bullet points. It's a really good thing. And you both show up prepared, calm, and ready. The scheduling removes most of the anxiety that derails these conversations. I'm going to give you one right now. I'm going to give you more in a bit. But the first one is something we call the turning point conversation. Something like this. You might go to them after this masterclass and say, hey, you know, I've been learning something about how I show up in relationships. I'm committed to approaching things differently going forward. I want us both to win in this. And I'm not pointing fingers here. I just want to build something better together. So I'm going to start communicating more clearly with you. And I want to invite you into that with me. Are you open to trying a new approach? Even just a few short conversations to start. Now, they might be uncertain and be confused and not know what that means. So you follow up with something like this. You know, I know that this is new. That's totally fine. You will see what I mean as we go. I'm not asking for anything dramatic here, just a few focused, short conversations where we can make things a little easy for each other. That's it. Thanks. I'll let you know as we go. That's the framework. 3 minutes. Done. Give me a yes in chat if that makes sense to you guys. Drop me a yes. Give me a yes in chat if the 3-minute framework is making sense. Now, why does this work? You might be wondering, how does this possibly work? If 3 hours doesn't do it, why 3 minutes? Honestly, the answer is not intuitive. The answer is biochemical. I'm going to give you an equation that makes that science of secure bonding very possible. Okay, we're going to go through that equation together. It's attraction plus commitment balanced by care. I'm going to break down that here in a little bit on the next few slides. But it's attraction on the top plus commitment divided by care. The reason most relationships fail isn't bad intentions. It's missing chemistry. And missing chemistry has a very specific, identifiable cause. I gave a TEDx talk about this. It'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to go through this very quickly with you here. You don't have to have a neurobiology degree to make this work. We're going to make this very simple. Okay? That's the equation right there. Attraction plus commitment divided by care. Attraction is dopamine and oxytocin. We're going to go quickly through this, okay? I promise. Oxytocin is that feeling, that bonding hormone of belonging, love, intimacy, safety, closeness. It's not the oxytocin starvation of insecure attachment, the desperate need to be close that's never fully satisfied. That's actually withdrawal. It's a starvation, biochemical starvation. Oxytocin should release and make you feel a warm sensation of belonging, love, and being at home with someone. I want you to type "at home" in chat right now. Okay, I see some yeses. I love it. This is making sense. Type "at home" for me in chat right now. Type "at home." At home is oxytocin. Now, the second piece is dopamine. Dopamine is the spark. Dopamine is fun. It feels good. It says, come back to this. I love it. So you need at home and spark for attraction. I want you to type spark in chat for me. At home and spark. Those are the two pieces, okay? Or write it down in your notes. Do both. At home and spark. Let me ask you this, and reflect on this. Really think about this. When was the last time you felt genuinely at home with a big spark for your partner? Really attracted to your partner. When was the last time? There we go. At home, and there's some spark. There we go. Okay, you guys are getting it. I feel it. I love it. Okay. Now, commitment. Commitment is serotonin and vasopressin. Vasopressin, as you know, I've done 7 long-form guides here on this channel alone on vasopressin. If you want to learn more, men have more receptors for this than women do, but women do also have them. Vasopressin is specifically for navigating conflict together and solving problems. It's the signal that says we are in this together and you have my back and we win together. This confirms the fig tree is real. This is, in many cases, the fig tree. You need this vasopressin. That says it is good that we are here and I should stay with you forever. Then serotonin comes along, the baseline contentment of a secure relationship. Not spiking, not crashing. It's deeply stable and fulfilling. It says it is good. All is good and well. I am fulfilled. Okay? Vasopressin and serotonin. Together, this says it is good and we win together. I want you to type "we win together" in chat. This is "we win together." Commitment has to be "we win together." So the spark, at home, and the spark, and we win together. Now, care is the bottom of this equation. I'm going to show you the equation again as we go. Care comes from cortisol. When cortisol, it's the stress hormone because it's a bad rap, poor cortisol. Cortisol rises when you care about something. You have to have cortisol. You don't want 0 because that would mean you don't care. But when you have rampant cortisol flooding through your system, your fertility is destroyed. You get chronic headaches and migraines. Your immune system's suppressed. Your cognitive functioning is depleted. You have chronic burnout and misery and inflammation and suffering. You have a greater risk of cancer, heart attack, stroke. It is terrible. High cortisol kills people in the worst possible ways. If you look at the top 10 leading causes of death, cortisol it's all 10 of them. They're correlated at least and usually directly caused by high cortisol. Now, GABA, G-A-B-A, suppresses and manages cortisol. It calms your cortisol. It makes it harder to release it, and it makes it shut down faster. So cortisol, balanced by GABA, is correct. And GABA releases when you have high oxytocin. Back to the at-home feeling. Okay? This is your system saying, when I'm at home and have the spark and we win together, it's okay for me to care. That's the secure love equation. This is it. Okay? You getting it? Attraction plus commitment balanced by care. I am at home with you and there's a fun spark and we keep remaking it together. And we have commitment because we win together and we plant the fig tree. And I care, but it's okay to care because that care is safe chemically. You make it safe for me to care this much. Now here's where this gets really, really good. And I love this part. People usually gasp when I pull this part out here, okay? Boom. When they are really good, you don't just get a plus, you get a multiplier effect. Attraction times commitment balanced by care. This is where you get a power couple. Most people have maybe experienced addition in their relationships. Maybe. You feel good, I feel good, cool. That's the happy feelings. All right, temporarily, we have a good week. But the full secure equation runs this way. When you have attraction and commitment operating from a secure system with a fig tree you're feeding each other by, it multiplies. It's not two people having a good week or good weather. It's neurobiological optimization. The multiplier effect here hits hard. It's qualitatively different. This is your multiplier effect, not a metaphor. Couples running the insecure system switch from not just starving into feeding, but full, massive biological flooding in a great way. Totally different system, completely. Again, I did a TEDx talk expanding on this in a big way. Can't wait to show that to you guys very soon, but this right here is the entire system. This is it. This is the multiplier. This is how you win as a couple and become a power couple. Now, remember, the old way and the new way. You and your partner doing one of two things. Co-regulating, hopefully, or you will be, or co-disregulating. Pulling each other down, escalating each other, activating each other, pulling each other into a sympathetic stress state accidentally over and over and over and over. Not because you're bad people, but because you're yanked into starvation again and again and again. All that fear. Or co-regulating, bringing each other endlessly toward calm, nurturing, safety, love, intimacy, peace, and passion. There is no neutral option here. You either walk away from a conflict without resolving it, and then you just escape, you just continue the co-dysregulation, or you have a big fight and blow up and you continue the co-dysregulation, or you fix it and you co-regulate. The only way out is to regulate. First, your nervous system first. Not because your partner doesn't have responsibility, they do, but you have to regulate your nervous system first to change the room. You change the system. Then as you begin changing, it demands that your partner change as well because they feel safer and safer and safer and safer and safer. That's the process. And as you begin feeling safer together, you get to win together as a couple. This right here is what see the person behind the pattern requires. You can't see through the pattern when your own nervous system's active. You only see the pattern and that's it. You have to discontinue your pattern and fix it, regulate, then allow them to regulate. And then the 3-minute conversations happen. You got it? This is the process. Now, the real change is this. When you make this switch, everything changes. We go well, I'll be honest with you. We go from starving and we go from scarcity into sustainability. And then we go from sustainability into prosperity, the thriving valley where everything is green. Remember the desert? And then one fig tree, and then a valley. The moment you switch from co-dysregulation to co-regulation, from the insecure system, everything changes. I'm not speaking metaphorically here. Your neurobiological systems, both of you begin to shift from sympathetic dominance to parasympathetic. And that's measurable, by the way, in brain scans, in hormone levels, in immune system functioning, in cognitive capacity, in sleep quality, in health, in well-being, in muscles relaxing. People who make this shift report not just feeling better in their relationship, they report functioning dramatically better in every area of their life. Because the relationship was consuming resources from you that are now available for creativity, health, purpose, and legacy. That's what I mean by prosperity. Sustainability is the relationship no longer costing you. Prosperity is what the relationship actively does when it's multiplying everything you invest in it. It's the tree feeding you so consistently, so abundantly that you have more to give everywhere, to children, to work, to your community, to yourself, than you ever had when the relationship was draining you. I want to hear from you guys in chat right now. Okay? Please type prosperity. Prosperity. Put prosperity in the chat. Prosperity. The ecosystem. Britt, you got it. The ecosystem. But we're going to get even better than that. I have so much better to even show you. Don't go away, because it's going to get even better. This is not even the full ecosystem yet. Put prosperity in chat for me, as you guys, if you're getting this right now. If this is making sense, prosperity. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to be teaching this. I'm going to be teaching you, okay? I'm going to be leading a retreat where I'm going to dive deep into all of this. I'm inviting you guys into that. We'll talk more about it in a little bit, okay? Here's what I want you to really understand. What I've shared with you today, this binary system, the secure love equation, the 3-minute conversation, the co-regulation framework, this is the foundation. This is the beginning of the architecture. This is the new. I'm glad you guys are loving it. I see prosperity's flooding in the chat right now. You guys get it. I love it. You hear it and you feel it. Okay, good. Now, everything I just showed you is the first 5 stages in a complete system for building, the first of 5 stages, I should say, of building a prosperous, secure relationship from start to finish. This is step 1. This is just step 1. I'm excited because step 1 is big and it changes the game. For the first time, I am going to be teaching that complete system in person in a 5-day intensive format down in San Diego, California, from April 23rd to the 27th. This is what I call the Relationship Mastery Intensive. So whether you're planning to be in the room with me there, or you're interested in working with my coaching team, or maybe you're watching today to understand what's possible for your relationship, the next part of this masterclass is for you, because I'm going to show you the complete 5-stage roadmap here today. I'm going to show you all of it. Now, if you're ready to learn more right now about my retreat, that link is pinned in the chat. This is an intensive, okay? Submit a retreat application there in that link in chat, or if you prefer coaching first, that is great. Submit the same application. My team will reach out to you directly. The initial conversation with us is always free. We typically follow up within just a couple of hours. We're very fast. Send us an email at support@adamlanesmith.com, and we answer all questions. Support@adamlanesmith.com is the place right now for you to reach out to us. Okay? I'm answering some questions there in chat as we go as well. I'm going to drop the link right there. Click that link for the retreat. Fill out a form. Come join us. I'd love to see you. Now, here we go. The complete system. There's that link. Gather some information about the retreat. Click that. Go in. Now, this is where we need to roll next. The complete 5-step system. Okay, it's very, very different than anything you guys have seen before. You have never seen this before. I promise you. Okay? First, building a secure, prosperous relationship. It's not a single event that just happens. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not one grand event where the clouds part and you feel better. It's a structured progression through 5 distinct stages. Each one has to unlock the next one. Each one's equipped with a very specific conversation you must be able to have to make that stage real. I'm going to walk you through all 5 stages right now. Before I do, I need to say something very important about how these stages go, though, because this is one of the things that makes this system fundamentally different than anything you've ever encountered before. These stages are not a checklist that you complete just once and leave behind. They're a cycle. I need to really get this in your guys' head. You will return to stage 1 when a relationship enters a new system. You'll return to stage 3 every time a rupture needs repairing, and they will. The stages are hierarchical. Everyone genuinely depends on the previous one being functional before it can hold. So you have to have 1 before you have 2. You have to have 2 before you have 3. You have to have 3 before you have 4. The difference is that once you know the system, running it becomes the most natural, productive thing you'll ever do in your relationships. They are a cycle. My wife and I have been married 17 years. We go through the cycle over and over and over and over because, frankly, you are supposed to. You didn't learn this in childhood. You're going to learn it now. Stage 1 is the roots of secure relationships. You identify what operating system is running and you make the conscious decision to switch. The binary we talked about gives you a complete picture of what separates those two systems. The scarcity to sustainability roadmap shows you the full arc of your journey. That's where you're entering and where you're going and the specific progression between them. You need to know where you're standing. Am I acting from scarcity or am I acting from sustainability? Step 1 addresses what most people doing in this work get wrong. A breakthrough is not this cultural myth we have where it's dramatic. The neuroscience says breakthroughs are the opposite. Real change is built from small, quiet, repeatable moments where your calm nervous system used a new skill to achieve a different outcome than the pattern would have produced. 40 of those chained together over roughly 60 days changes your brain. Small breakthroughs. That's how your breakthroughs happen. That's why I teach the breakthrough recognition model. This is a specific framework I teach, how to even recognize when you're having a breakthrough, because most people dismiss them and then blow them out. Just totally blow them off. There's a conversation that anchors stage 1 called the turning point conversation. You heard me say this earlier. This is the conversation where you invite your partner, or even yourself, actually, if you're working alone, into a different kind of relationship. It's not a dramatic declaration, I will be different forever. No, it's also not an ultimatum. You must do this or else. It's a simple, clear, calm invitation. Hey, I'm growing. I'm going to approach things differently. So going forward, you'll see me talk differently. Please don't be afraid. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm actually trying to relate to you differently just so that we can be at peace. I want us to build something that works for both of us. Are you just open to receiving that as we go forward? I know it sounds a little vague. You'll see what I mean as we roll. Okay, thank you. That conversation, when it's done correctly from a regulated nervous system, that's the first planting. That's the first little planting where you put the seed in the ground and you start watering it. Takes 3 minutes. Okay? 3 minutes. I want you to write turning point in the chat right now if you're with me. Turning point. Give me a turning point in the chat. I want to see those turning points. Now, as we go on, I'm going to be watching for those turning points, but here we go. Stage 2, unlocking your relationship potential. Massively important. This right here is where the secure love equation comes to life. This is where you learn exactly what your nervous system is producing and missing. Every insecure attachment style runs specific deficiencies in their loyalty cascade. The anxious person, the avoidant person, the disorganized person, every single one is missing different chemical pieces of the equation. Earlier tonight, you guys told me that yes, it made sense why we have chemical imbalances when we look at the relational model, and it comes down to your attachment style and your attachment pattern. Okay? That's where a lot of our chemical imbalances are coming from. Each one has a unique pathway back to a full, healthy cascade. And that's where we learn that co-regulation framework, the complete bodywork-rooted skills for breaking the co-disregulation and replacing it with intentional co-regulation as a couple. Okay, I see turning point going on in the chat. I love that. This is the turning point right there. This is the turning point moment. I love it. Okay, now in stage 2, different conversation. This is the care conversation. This is where you find that you and your partner actually exchange needs, not as accusations, but you care about each other. This is where you commit to care about each other in small ways. You might say, hey, you know what? Just for the sake of ease, I don't think we've ever understood what makes us feel loved. Here's what makes me feel genuinely loved. I just want to give you that clarity, okay? Here's what makes me feel genuinely loved. Here's what it does for us. And here's how often I need it. Can you do that for me? I also want to understand what you need. What makes you feel loved? Why does that work for you? So I understand. And how often do you need it? Can we do this together back and forth and take care of each other? Great. Let's reconvene in a week or two and see how it's going and give feedback, because let's take care of each other. This is watering the tree on purpose. 3 minutes, in and out. The relationship's deeper on the other side. That conversation hinges on your attachment style deficiency profiling that I teach. It helps you understand which chemicals each insecure style suppresses and what the secure operating system needs. Okay? Most importantly, you need to know what you actually need. If you don't know how to ask for it and you don't know what it is, there's no way you can do it. You need to learn your needs and you do that. Again, if you need help with that, me and my team can help you find what your needs are. Now, stage 3, the negotiation-driven relationship model. This is where you begin actually properly negotiating together peacefully as a couple, not in a transaction, but in mutual care. This is a framework I built specifically to function inside activation, not around it. Most communication tools fall apart completely the moment your systems fire. That's why I built this. Me and my business partner, we built this together. We spent years practicing and building this together. We use it on each other all the time in a good way. I use this with my wife. It is so effective. My family uses this. The negotiation-driven, what I call the NDR, the negotiation-driven relationship. The NDR model operates on 4 levels of negotiation, from forceful coercion at level 1, that you want to cut out, up to authentic, trust-based collaboration at level 4, transparent, peaceful, loving, intimate. The goal is to hold at level 4 as the standard and nurturing each other, and to recognize when a conversation has dropped and have the skills to bring it back up. Most of you don't know how to address where you're at in the negotiation process. This gives you that model. Then we apply conflict as bonding. This is the conflict as bonding opportunity model that I teach. Conflict bonds you and pulls you together as a couple. If you don't have conflict, you don't have trust, period. I'm just going to tell you right now. If you don't have conflict, you don't have trust. You cannot have trust, actually. It's impossible. Conflict is the road. It's also the doorway. That's why I teach what we call the needs and capacity language model. You have to have needs and capacity. I need this, and I have this much to give you. What do you need, and how much do you have to give me? Can we trade peacefully and lovingly? And can we grow each other's capacity? There's nurturing the fig tree. When I take care of you, your capacity to take care of me increases. So I need 10 coins from you of love, 10 coins of love. You have 6 coins to give. But if I nurture and feed you correctly, you grow your capacity and can give me 12 coins of love, passing my needs. And I grow and can give you 12 coins of love, passing your needs and capacity. This requires what we call the repair conversation, because things will go wrong. Ruptures will happen, even without meaning to. Someone will say something they don't mean when they're mean or mad. Commitment will be missed. A hard moment will land bad. And the repair conversation's there for the repair, the precise, structured response to those moments. When it's done correctly, trust gets built in the repair that exceeds what was there before. So your trust grows with every problem. That's fertilizing and caring for that tree. This is where the real depth of that bond starts to come out. Absolutely important. Now, this is really where it gets exciting. Stage 4 is building a living bond that functions between you. This is where everything shifts in your entire system. Up to this period, we've been talking about the secure operating system just as a better way to manage a relationship. This reframes everything. A relationship is not something to be managed. It's something to be built and tended. The living structure, the fig tree. Yes, you're growing, nurturing, and watering it, but at this point, you get to talk about it. You get to talk about the fig tree as a tree, as something you're building. This is the exciting part. The living relationship model that me and my team work on and teach is the complete answer to the question, if a relationship isn't feelings, what is it? It's a tree that both people plant together. And when you care for each other, you water that tree. When the tree's healthy, it feeds you both reliable, sustainably, increasingly over time. It doesn't die because of a bad month. It does not require constant emotional hypervigilance. Remember, I had you type the word hypervigilance earlier. This is where hypervigilance dies. And it couldn't have died sooner. This is where hypervigilance dies and you're no longer exhausted. Stage 4 also brings in the cooperative bond model, the 4-component architecture of a relationship that's built on a shared mission rather than shared feelings. This is also what we call the energy reallocation framework. Look, when you're stuck in a miserable relationship, it bleeds your energy dry and you are starving and miserable and you can't do much of anything in your life. You're exhausted by threat monitoring, emotional temperature management, that dysregulation process, post-dysregulation, recovery, staying up late at night, tossing and turning. Now, when you do this, all that energy comes back to you. Imagine all that energy and time coming back to you and being hyper-productive in your health, your creativity, your productivity, your legacy, everything. The volume of honestly what gets freed up and reallocated shocks most people. They are shocked. Give me in chat, give me a guess. How many hours in a day do you spend stressed out because of your relationships? And I mean family, friends, parents, siblings, kids, partner, boss at work, colleagues, coworkers, friends. Tell me, how many hours in a day do you feel stressed out? That's what this gives you back. Okay, drop a number in chat. That's the amount of time and energy you would get back. Think of it that way. What unlocks everything at stage 4 is what's called the vision conversation, where two people stop processing the past and they start designing the future. You might say, hey, let's sit down on Saturday night and talk about this. And then you sit down Saturday night and you say, where are we going? And I just mean the two of us. What are we building? What are our individual goals and how do they reinforce each other? The vision conversation is not a dramatic declaration about exactly what we have to be building 50 years from now. It's a simple, regular 3-minute alignment of what you're trying to build together as a couple and what you're excited about. We're building a family where everybody gets to feel safe and cared for, and people take care of each other for the next 200 years. Even after we're gone, our family, our kids and grandkids, everyone's taking care of each other, and they're happy to do it because they all get to win. Everyone has a fig tree. We're building what's called a grove. We're building a grove of fig trees. We're building a grove of fig trees. People say 24 hours. I hear that. 25, 8, 20, the entire 24. Imagine having all those hours back and all that energy back for something amazing. What could you achieve? Probably conquer the world. Now, remember I had you type prosperity before? Let's talk about prosperity. Stage 5 is prosperity. It's where everything scales. That secure operating system that transforms your one-on-one marriage, yay, happy. Now it transmits to your children, to your community, to everyone whose relationship with you is now being run on a new operating system. One tree becomes a grove, and a grove becomes a forest. You were standing in a bleak, miserable, scarcity-ridden desert, and now you have grown a forest. This is what we call the secure legacy model. It's built on a straightforward neurobiological fact. The oxytocin patterns that are established in a secure bond are epigenetically transmitted to your children. In the womb, out of the womb, feeding, nurturing, raising, talking. A child who's raised inside a cooperative bond absorbs the operating system as their relational default. Imagine if you were raised in your parents' fig tree forest. How different would your life be? That's what you can give to your kids and grandkids. That transmits to your kids and their kids and their kids and their kids. Secure children become secure parents. Every planting decision made inside the operating system is a multi-generational one. Now, that multiplier effect we talked about in the secure loyalty equation earlier, that blows up here. Imagine everyone in your family running a multiplier on each other, getting that many hours back that you just typed in chat, turning those hours into productive, healthy, loving, safe, intimate hours. That's a win-win-win dynamic. The super tribe connection is what we teach here. It extends outward through every domain. Your tribe becomes superpowered. From couple to family, from family to business team, from team to community, everyone you touch and everyone around you plants a tree, and you have a thriving forest that is your tribe. You've maybe heard me talk about my CEO and COO management framework inside my How to Build a Secure Marriage video course. This is where husbands and wives work together as respectful, governing team over the forest you are building. 2 equal co-founders, each leading from a distinct domain. The CEO holds vision, direction, final decisions, but someone has to be that stressed out, and a legacy orientation. And the COO holds homeostasis, relational oversight, emotional intelligence integration, operational execution. Neither one outranks the other in importance. The framework eliminates power struggles not by resolving issues immediately, but by making them structurally unnecessary. You don't have to argue or fight anymore. The conversation for this is the prosperity conversation, an executive level conversation about where everything's really going. Legacy, goals, optimization, growth. How do we see record-breaking intimacy, connection, and purpose in the next 5 years? What does our legacy look like? This is not a conversation most couples ever have. I just had this one on my 17-year wedding anniversary with my wife. We went to an amazing ramen restaurant. It's where she wanted to go. We sat down. I looked at her, and we had this conversation. She was glowing. How do we get to win together for the next year? What are we building toward in the next 200 years? What are we crafting in the next 1,000 years? We got to talk about our forest that's going to grow for 1,000 years. That's what we're talking about here, you guys. Now, I want to be very clear here. I'm going to invite you personally into this. I want to personally invite you to my Relationship Mastery Intensive. For those of you who choose to join me, this is down in San Diego, California, April 23rd through the 27th. I'm going to teach you every single one of those 16 frameworks that I just talked about that make up the complete relationship mastery system. Not as a concept and not as a video course you watch at home, but live in person with my certified coaching team with a maximum of 30 attendees in the room. You will physically learn all of these from me together at the retreat. You have to be in person to really take in this system. Full immersion is required. That means in the room together with us, hearing us, listening with us, eating with us, walking with us, being with us, and seeing it with your own eyes in person. When I shake your hand, you see it. This is it. Full immersion. Not distracted by your life anymore. There are physical demonstrations that are needed where my coaches get up and act them out, and I pause and narrate and move forward. I can't do this online. There is no way for me to film this effectively and present it to you except in that room. There are guided practicums where I teach you and guide you and show you what to do. They're designed specifically to teach this so that you are already doing it. You don't go home and start fumbling through trying. You start doing there and we correct you. 3 minutes at try number 1. The group gives you feedback and helps you correct. The coach corrects you right there on the spot. You do try number 2 for another 3-minute conversation. The coach gives you more feedback. Observation, help, mentorship. It's driven learning together with me and my team. Now, there are 5 sessions of this, plus there's a VIP session that's extra for those of you who want to go the extra mile. This right here, it's the culmination of everything I teach. An immersive experience where you feel it, live it, and start it. So your brain begins feeling the difference before you even leave. It only happens once a year. It is the only place in the world where I teach the complete full system in this format. I bring my coaching team there. Me and my business partner are there. Everyone is there. My full attention is in that room for 5 days on you. This cannot happen anywhere else. Now, if you choose to upgrade to the VIP system, you will stay for an additional day with a 50-minute private consultation with me personally, where we'll build your plan together, specific to your situation and your bond. I'm also going to have a secure femininity group for the women and a secure masculinity group for the men there. And also a parasympathetic nervous system training session with my senior coach, Alyssa. All of that together with a 1,000-year family model legacy masterclass to build your forest. The VIP experience is for people who are ready to build a legacy beyond their lifetime. Okay, I do not want you to miss this. This retreat, there is nothing I can tell you that is quite like this experience. Okay? Absolutely crucial you understand that. Again, that link is available right now, pinned in chat. Now, I want to be very clear. I want you to picture something larger than your current relationship. As we go through those 5 models I just talked about, as we go through crossing the binary, as we go through making this change in your relationship, I really want you to understand this. And yes, I want to say this also. Message us, send your specific questions to us. support@adamlanesmith.com is our email. Send me questions. Send us questions. Ask us if this is right for you. If you don't know where you're at, ask us how to begin. We are here to help. Me and my entire team. We answer usually within a couple of hours. Okay? We are here to help. Now, I want to say this. I want you to picture something larger than your current relationship, an actual forest. A forest. What does a forest look like? Confucius, I love this story of this family, the Kong family. There are 83 generations mapped out in his line. Over 2,500 years of family. Imagine your family standing for 2,500 years with 83 generations. There are 1.7 million members of his family alive right now. It's one of the oldest and most continuously documented family lineages in all of recorded human history. Now, how did that happen? Not by accident. It happens when the founding relationship is built on principles of wisdom, the right relationship, and intentional transmission to the next generation. That was a fig tree. That was a fig tree. When a family line is consciously planted as a tree, not feelings, not performance. It's a living structure that feeds you. And it begins every single time with two people who decide to see the person behind the pattern. Your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren can live in emotional security in the forest, or they can live in scarcity in the desert, based on decisions that you make in your primary relationship with your partner or your next partner today. That's not hyperbole, it's epigenetics. Secure oxytocin patterns transmit to your children. Secure children become secure parents build secure families, and secure families build secure communities. That's the forest. So what you're building here today, if you build it correctly, will echo through generations you will never even meet. That's what seeing the person behind the pattern means. That means planting a tree and a forest that will outlive both of you. You with me? I want you to type legacy. Legacy. Type legacy in the chat for me if you're getting this. I want to see you guys type that. Oh, wait. I'm here. It's okay. I'm paying attention. I got you guys right here on my screen. Legacy. Type legacy for me if this is making sense. Because this could be you. There's no reason this can't be you. 2,500 years from now. There is no reason that can't be you. Okay, I see some legacies. Brit Dot. Kimberlific. That's a good name. Maria. Shoddy Gal. Angel Baldwin. Good to see you in here again. Thrash Droid. Trobone. Lydia. It's going so fast I can't even see it. Legacy, legacy, legacy. I love it. There we are. My life is not about me, says Maria. It's really not. And I mean that in a good way. I mean that actually in a good way. In a very, very calming kind of way. Now, the cost of waiting really is this. I want to be honest with you. Inaction, and this is not to frighten you. It's really not. It's just that I see people in their 60s and 70s coming to me all the time. And I know that you deserve a clear picture of what could happen if you don't do this. For you personally, if you stay in the insecure operating system, you'll continue chasing feelings and weather rather than building a genuine fulfillment. You will continue spending enormous amounts of energy, neurobiological energy, creative energy, productive capacity, everything that you could be doing, managing relationships that are running on threat instead of trust. You'll be living in the desert. You will never really merge with your partner, and you'll always be afraid and alone. Even when you're not alone, you will feel alone. And you'll know it. For your family, the insecure operating system will continue to go. Your kids will grow up dysregulated. They'll be in the desert too. They won't know what a fig tree is supposed to look like. They're going to have to somehow stumble across my videos. They're going to have to try to figure it out. And they're going to hope and hope and hope that they find somebody out in this world that wants to plant a fig tree with them. Their children will absorb it from them too. I've seen that so many times. It breaks my heart. And for your legacy, statistically, this is terrifying. 93% of family lines are expected to die out within 3 to 5 generations. The majority of family lines today will no longer exist, not because of tragedy, but because of disconnection and stopping having kids at all, because no one bothers planting the trees anymore. Imagine 7% of family lines surviving about 150 years from now. 7% of family lines. The future belongs to those who show up. I'll say it another way. The future belongs to those who plant fig trees. The choice to engage with this work, it's not really about self-improvement. That's what people get wrong all the time. They call me a self-improvement teacher. I am not. I'm a legacy teacher. I'm a family teacher. I'm a science teacher. This really is about whether or not your line continues and you get to live a life that fulfills you, a life of meaning, a life of legacy. Every month you wait, it goes longer and longer and longer. I don't want that for you. That's why I'm here trying to turn that tide now. You need to start seeing the person behind the pattern, including you and your partner, while you still have that chance. Okay? Now, I want you to imagine this. Not the vision of what your relationship just feels like. That does help. Great, cool. The vision of what you'll actually build. Imagine your relationship built on a secure operating system, not feelings. Imagine not having to worry about the feelings between you two anymore. Imagine a third thing living in the tree. Imagine sitting between you and your partner. You're sitting on the couch, and sitting between you is a beautiful fig tree growing. When that tree is healthy and it's fed correctly, tended, built on the cooperative bond, and not co-disregulated, but co-regulated, every time you're hungry, you reach out and pluck a fig, and you are full and safe and healthy and satisfied, and it's the sweetest fig you've ever had. And now you're powered up for the rest of the day. For those of you who drink coffee and take caffeine, imagine a burst of energy every time you take a bite of that fig tree. Imagine a burst of energy flooding through you every time the tree nurtures you. That's your relationship. It's not the weather. It's nurturing each other. Imagine both of you carrying that energy into your friendships, into your parenting, into your work. Imagine imagine getting a promotion at work, or doubling your revenue as a company. Imagine your children inheriting those fig trees from you. Remember I said you, your partner, and 3 kids, everyone's got 4 fig trees to feed from. Imagine 4 of you having an energizing fig tree between everybody. 4 fig trees feeding you. You are stuffed to the gills with energizing figs every day. That's what I mean when I say the stakes of this work are not just better communication. It's generational and civilizational. Imagine the 7% of family lines that survive over the next 150 years being this kind of family. Not broken families, but loving ones, finally. Now, most families don't do this, and I'll be blunt about why. I've done this work long enough to know exactly what's going through a lot of people's minds, and I want to address it. Let me say this. I know investment is always the first concern. People say, Adam, this is pricey. And I say, yes, this is a significant investment, and it's supposed to be. Going to retreat an intensive like this and changing the rest of your life permanently, it should be. It shouldn't be priced like going to the library. Some people say, Adam, I can't justify the investment. And I'll say this, you're already paying. Therapy, thousands of dollars a year for therapy. Medical bills, thousands of dollars. Binge spending on Amazon, to call it retail therapy, thousands of dollars. Dopamine trips, thousands of dollars, and health problems. Lawyer fees when the relationship goes sideways. Divorce costs, destroying your retirement plan. You're spending a lot. You don't realize you're spending a lot, but you are. All this is a reallocation of what you're already spending or will spend in the future. It's not a new cost. The goal here is to save you a fortune in divorce pain. I have clients come into me with a $9 million prenup on the line sometimes. $9 million was an exact amount of prenup I had one time. And they said, Adam, I would rather give up the money than live in this suffering anymore. $9 million. Working with me was a lot cheaper than that. I'll just tell you that. If you need help and support, honestly, if you have questions, drop us a line at support@adamlanesmith.com or message me on adamlanesmith.com. AdamLaneSmith.com is the website for pretty much everything, coaching, retreat, everything. And if you have a question, just email me, support@AdamLaneSmith.com. Now, I want to go through some of the biggest objections I hear from a lot of people, because I hear a lot of people tell me things. These are the ones I hear most often. Adam, we've tried everything. Nothing is really working. I hear this constantly. I hear it all the time. Okay? Constantly. Adam, I've tried everything. Have you ever tried switching the underlying system? Going from starvation and obsessing over the weather to planting a fig tree that feeds both of you? Have you ever tried that? Have you ever tried regulating your system? It's massive. Massive, massive, massive. If you can try this, this is what will help. This is the change. Now, I also want to say this, and this one's a lot like it. Okay? And I hear this also, right? We've tried everything. Well, this usually actually means, Adam, this is expensive. Yes, it's a low 5-figure investment to come to the retreat or to work in coaching. It's a low 5-figure investment. That's a significant investment. It is. I hear it a lot. But again, this is where you invest in your family. I also hear this one. What if we're the exception? Yeah, situations are unique. The operating system running underneath, like here we've talked about, is not. It's a binary. You have it or you don't. Sometimes I hear, Adam, I'm single right now. Great. The best time to switch your operating system is before you attract another partner who doesn't like fig trees. They want you to scan the weather. Sometimes I hear, Adam, we've been stuck for 20 years. Great. Neuroplasticity doesn't expire. You can change a marriage at any point as long as you're both willing to do even a tiny amount. Some people say, Adam, what happens after I apply? Well, we have a conversation, a free, low-pressure conversation, not a sales pitch, a low-pressure conversation where we listen to what's going on and we give you some options and see if they fit your needs. Sometimes I hear this, Adam, my relationship's not terrible enough that we have to fix it. You're on autopilot, probably. It's not terrible enough. It's just stuck. Well, that's your insecure operating system at low intensity for now. Yeah, Adam, I'm in the desert, but it's not that bad. I'll say this. I get other objections too. Adam, my partner's not going to engage with me. I can't do this alone. Yes, you can. Your partner does not dictate what happens in your heart. Your partner does not dictate what happens in your heart, and they cannot and should not. Instead, you begin making the changes. And again, the research says 76% of the time your partner joins you in that. Yeah, not completely alone forever will you do this work, but you can begin alone. And when you regulate first and you respond from a secure nervous system instead of activating the insecure one, the dynamic between you begins to shift. Not because you fixed them, but because you changed the input, and the input change creates changed output. That's seeing the person behind the pattern, letting them see you as well. Sometimes I hear this. This one always cracks me up. Adam, I don't have time for a 5-day retreat. I'm so busy. I want to ask you a question, and we talked about this earlier. How many hours have you spent in the last year in arguments that resolve nothing? Some of you said you spend 24 hours a day stressed out. If you spent a fraction of that time building a system that eliminates those cycles for the rest of your life, what's the real cost-benefit analysis there? 5 days to install a system that changes the rest of your life forever. That's not a time investment. That's a time recovery. Just like if you don't spend $100,000 on a divorce or more, that's not an investment anymore. That's saving money. Okay? Another objection I hear a lot. And I'm going through this, guys, because I hear this, so I argue with it all the day. And you might be thinking of them. Okay? Adam, I'm not sure we're going to make it. Why should I invest? Why should I invest if I'm not sure our marriage is going to make it? Oh, man. This is where it matters most. If your relationship is in real danger and you're not sure you're going to make it, if you're really not sure whether it can be saved, this is precisely the moment this work matters the absolute most. Not because my retreat is a magical fix, but because the framework gives both of you a clear structural answer to those questions being asked. When you have the tools to build a cooperative bond together, when you see the person behind the pattern, the question begins to answer itself. See the person behind the pattern, not just the pattern. Stop fighting about the pattern. Fix the pattern. Plant the fig tree. Sometimes I hear this one. This cracks me up. Adam, this seems too good to be true. Good. Skepticism is healthy. I like skepticism. Some of my best friends in the world are avoidantly attached men, and I love their skepticism. It challenges me to really mean what I say and be able to back it up. What I'm asking you to do is not just believe me. I'm asking you to test it. Test the 3-minute conversation model. Test the co-regulation framework. Test the turning point conversation. These are not concepts, they're skills. They're skills you either practice and find they work, or you practice and find they don't. I've never had a client who practiced them correctly find that they didn't work. They work. But I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm asking you to test it. See the person behind the pattern and see what actually happens. Okay? That's what changes. Now, I have an overwhelming amount of support available for you guys. I release about 2 books worth of content every month for free. I was just talking to my business partner about this today. We're talking about our entire production team on the back end. Guys, I'll be blunt with you. It costs me well into the 6 figures on the back end, financially wise, every month to run my team and produce about 2 books worth of free content for you guys every single month. And we do this because we are so overwhelmingly passionate. Some would say fanatical, I think, but overwhelmingly passionate about making humanity healthier. I want you to know that we have an overwhelming amount of free content out there. First, I have my free attachment quiz on adamlanesmith.com. It takes minutes. You go through it, you get your results, you'll see your attachment pattern, your attachment style. I have my free YouTube library. You've seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on here. I have my I Wish You Knew podcast, where I'm interviewing incredible world experts and coaching people right there on the show, and you're watching me do it. I have my free blog on adamlanesmith.com with me and my coaches showing you exact skill frameworks. I have my newsletter multiple times a week showing you more skill sets free. Free, you guys. Please, no matter what you do, take full advantage of the free content available on adamlanesmith.com and on all of my platforms. Overwhelmingly free. Now, if you're at the very beginning of your journey, and many of you are, I'm glad you're here. Start with the free resources. Take the free attachment quiz. It's the most important starting place I can give you. Okay? It's also one of the biggest attachment style experiments we're running in human history right now. We've got tens and tens and tens of thousands. I will just say a very large number of 5-figure people, and it's about to click over into 6 figures of people that we're studying the information from, and you guys are giving that to us. AdamLaneSmith.com. We're learning so much from you guys about attachment. I have that YouTube channel, everything you need. Now, if you are ready to go all in, if you're ready to learn from us, I have the coaching process with me and my certified team of attachment specialist coaches who are ready right now to begin training you on this system from your bedroom, from your living room, on the couch, right there, from your phone, in your car. I take so many coaching clients from their car where they're sitting in a parking lot. Totally fine. We're happy to work with you there. And if you're ready to go all the way in to learn the complete system in person with me in a contained, immersive environment, the Attachment Relationship Mastery Intensive is where you need to be. April 23rd to the 27th down in San Diego. Every framework we talked about tonight, every conversation, every demonstration, every practicum. This is the one and only place on the planet where I will ever be teaching this in person right now like this. Okay, it happens only once a year. The application link is pinned in chat. Submit your application today. My team will reach out to you. It costs you nothing, okay, to do that. The initial call is free and is not a pressured sales pitch. It is a comfortable conversation about your needs. My team is here to help you figure out if this is the right fit, not to sell you something, to see if this is the right fit. This 5-day intensive is great, but if it's not the right fit for you yet and your life needs a slower, more flexible approach, my coaching team still is here. Your dedicated coach will work with you at your pace through your specific situation with additional group coaching support available. Same framework, same system, adapted to where you are. Whatever level you're at, free resources, coaching, the retreat, the first step is the same. Submit an application. My team will reach out. The conversation costs you nothing. That conversation alone is often enough to give you a completely different picture of what's actually possible for your relationship. I did host the retreat last year, and I want to tell you about a couple people. One person came in feeling almost hopeless. He knew about attachment theory to some extent. He knew what was happening in his relationship, but he couldn't stop it. He knew the pattern wasn't changing, and that was the trap. He knew enough to be dangerous and not enough to actually do anything about it. After the retreat, he said, I was at the end of my rope with my relationship. Everything I was trying didn't seem to be working. I was almost at a hopeless standpoint. The insight I had the biggest impact on me was that insecure people get attached with insecure people. The fact we weren't alone, the fact that this is so very common made all the difference. Adam, I'm going home with tools, tactics, techniques, and then a support group to run that through. It's one of the best retreats. I love this. It's one of the best retreats I've ever been to. I have his testimonial on the retreat page. It's linked in chat. Check it out. I had another person come in. She came into this work alone with a psychology background, already deeply curious about attachment. She'd been to retreats before and always left without a roadmap. She was frustrated. Here's what she said. Adam, I've done a lot of different types of inner work, and I hear that one a lot. The missing piece was that when we went home here, there was no roadmap from the other ones. There was no roadmap. There was no way of applying it to my life. What I liked about this work is that it can be taken home and actually applied to have meaningful, impactful differences. When I started seeing it, I couldn't unsee it, and that's a huge takeaway. Check out that testimony on the retreat page. Okay? Now, I'm going to do this. More questions. And remember, there's a Q&A coming here at the end, you guys. I want to take your questions from the chat in the Q&A. I don't want to miss you guys. I see some great questions in the chat right now. I want to hit those. So copy them, paste them in when we hit to the end, okay? Questions right now. 5 most common questions I get. Before I open up for questions, I want to address these 5 questions right now. Question number 1. How long does it take to change your attachment pattern? Well, the brilliant Dr. Caroline Leaf and her research team, from whom I've synthesized and pulled, right? Synthesis, pulled amazing information. You can see my episode with her that we had that conversation together. The research is clear. Consistent practiced pattern interruption takes about 58 to 63 days, or roughly 2 months, to produce measurable neurological change. That's not perfect changes. It's a new pathway that becomes dominant. It's not perfection, it's consistency. You don't have to be perfect. You don't rewire your brain in one breakthrough like we talked about. You build smaller breakthroughs that chain together. My retreat, the intensive, gives you the framework and the beginning process, and then you go home and 2 months later, full rewiring for that brain in that pathway. That's the process. Question number 2, does this work if only one partner is doing it? Yes, to a significant degree. The secure operating system does not require mutual enrollment right at the beginning to begin producing results. When you regulate first, when you respond from the tree, instead of reacting from the feeling, the whole dynamic begins to shift. Honestly and obviously, the cooperative bond does require eventual engagement from both people, but the starting point is always one person, yours. You begin the process. You start it. If you don't start it, no one will. The good news is when you start it, almost every time, the other person follows. Question 3, what if my partner's attachment is extreme? And I hear this one a lot. What if they are avoidant, they shut down, they're anxious escalation, both at once, massively dysregulated? The pattern is not the person, that's what I say. Okay, their operating system is running at higher intensity, yes. Remember the binary system, the co-regulation framework, the negotiation model, all of it was built to function under exactly that kind of pressure. The tools I give you are built to function when things are hard. What changes the extreme presentations is sequencing and pacing, not skipping the 5 stages, actually moving through them correctly with deliberate care. At the intensive, I'm going to show you all of the insecure attachment presentations at their most activated across every session, so you leave knowing exactly what secure looks like, even when the pattern's running really hard and intense. I'm going to show you that. I also get this one. What if my relationship's already had a serious breach, infidelity, major betrayal? Can you really come back from an affair? Absolutely. Ruptures, when they're repaired correctly, produce deeper trust than before the rupture happened. Betrayal does not mean the end of a relationship. It means you need to change the system completely. That's the process. It's not always possible in every situation, but it's more possible than most people believe. And there's a system for infidelity recovery. I also hear this one. I'm not sure if my relationship's going to make it. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but if you're uncertain, this is when you need to lean in. This is the exact moment that work matters the most. This is when it all matters. This is when everything changes. Now, one more. Adam, I've done a lot of personal development work. Is this going to be redundant? Pretty much every person who comes to my coaching has done extensive internal work. Pretty much everyone that came to my retreat last year had done extensive internal work. It is not redundant. Almost certainly not. Most personal development works happen inside your insecure system. I saw something on social media just today where someone said the most insufferable people I've ever met are endlessly doing their inner work. Always, forever, going inward. Going inward is not the answer. It does not fix things. Going inward is not the answer, you guys. It's fixing your system. It's fixing your system forever. Now, I want to say this. One more thing, then I'm going to take your Q&A questions, you guys. I will, from chat. You're right here on my screen. I see you blowing up. You got a lot of good questions. Okay, one last piece. You came into this masterclass with a clear picture, right? You had a 3-hour argument. That was your picture. It was the quiet fading. Remember the 1, 2, 3, 4, which one you were? Maybe it was the fear of the repeating pattern one more time. I want you to leave today with a different picture. Not just what's possible for your relationship, but what's possible for your actual legacy. Every relationship that switches operating systems from scarcity to sustainability, from co-disregulation to co-regulation, from feelings chasing to tree tending, that relationship becomes a seed itself. And every time a seed is planted correctly and tended consistently, it becomes a tree. And every tree, over time, becomes a forest. The world you want your descendants to inherit is built in rooms like this one here, by people like you who decided to see the person behind the pattern, who chose the system, who planted the tree. I genuinely look forward to seeing many of you at that retreat in person in San Diego in April. Please fill out the application so I can shake your hand and look you in the eye and show you how to plant your tree. I would love to see you there. Now, I'm going to jump over. I'm going to take your questions. Here we go. Let me switch really quick because you got to see me. I don't want you to not see me. I want to be here. Give me just a moment, guys. I am switching over. Okay. And there we are. Hey, I was here the whole time. Promise. It's all good. Good to see you guys again. I'm glad to have you here, and I'm glad you made it through. If you made it this far, I know that you are a pattern breaker. We talked about that last time. Remember the I am a pattern breaker? For those of you, call back to it. You are here because you are really ready to change your life and your family's life forever. I'm going to go through your questions now. Let's go through them now. I'm going to start taking questions over in chat for a little bit. Okay? Let me see questions in chat. I don't want to miss anything. I'm looking for questions. I'm scrolling back, I promise. But every time you guys post one, I get it pulls it back down. So it's a little bit tough. Drop some questions down here. Welcome back, says Thrashdroid. Thank you, Thrashdroid. I appreciate you. What questions could you have? Okay, here's Rabadabadala. What if there's a lot of resentment and no accountability? How do you overcome this in 3 minutes? I hear that loud and clear. You need to actually begin changing your nervous system. Change your nervous system. This is called somatic work. Changing your nervous system. Calming down so that you can be where you want to be. Then you can go to them and say something like, I know our relationship has not been as strong or as healthy as we've wanted it to be. I know both of us have probably been disappointed. I want you to know that going forward, I'm going to be talking to you in a different way. I'm going to be responding different, even asking you different questions. Please don't be alarmed when I do this. I'm not trying to trick you. This is not, I'm not recording anything. I'm going to talk to you different the way I would want to be spoken to, with respect and care. I'm also going to have some boundaries. Again, it's going to make some shifts. Are you open to doing this with me and making some changes? Okay? I'm just telling you this is going to be changing going forward in the future. This is how things are going to shift. I would love for you to join me on that. This is where I'm at. I'd love for us to do this together. Thank you. Go back to your movie. And you walk off. And you walk away. That's how you do it. 3-minute conversation. That's how you begin. Maria, do you offer payment plans? We have a lot of options available, actually, for the retreat and for coaching. A lot of people have asked us that, and we've built options in there so that people can do that. Really depends where you're coming from, but we try to work with everybody as much as we can, okay? What if anxious wife, what can I do when my husband feels his attachment style work requires him to change who he is? Us having children is the only thing that will bring connection. Children don't change the connection. Don't have kids to change your marriage. Change your marriage to have kids. Who he is not the problem. It's not his prefrontal cortex. The person he is his prefrontal cortex. We don't want to change who he is. We want to change the operating system, the limbic system. Tell him to research the limbic system. We want to change the limbic system that's taking control. It's not about removing his choice. It's about giving him another choice so he can actually choose and have his own sovereignty, his real authentic self, so that he can be more fully himself. That's the answer. That's what we want. How much more efficient is meeting in person to your one-on-one coaching? Matthew, great question. Thank you. One-on-one coaching is amazing, right? I teach you personally what you need and we custom tailor it to your experience. But the trade-off there is that I don't get to go immersively into every core framework and train you extensively on every piece so you have the entire system. It's really impossible in a coaching package to go through everything that you're going to need. We will go through a lot and we will custom tailor it to you and get you where you want to be. But for the full immersive framework experience, for a complete relationship overhaul, you really need the retreat for that. There's no substitute for being in person, learning it with me right there. There is absolutely no way to do that online. And I can't reproduce the role plays online. I can't reproduce the in-core group work with the coaches right there at your side, listening and providing feedback. I can't reproduce that online. I just can't. The coaching is great. It's great. And we've helped thousands of people. We have a 99.8% success rate with my methodology when I use it. But there is no replicating the experience of a retreat. And those of you who've been to the best one-on-ones or the best retreat systems, you know what I'm talking about. There's a difference between a Zoom call that an in-person event just can't do. Looking through for questions. Becky says, there we go. I've heard anxious versus avoidant attachment is one of the most passionate toxic combinations. How do we break the push-pull cycle? Becky, I've got a lot of videos here on this channel exactly for you. You might be brand new and that's okay. I have a lot of material on this channel to show you exactly how to break that push-pull cycle with an anxious and avoidant partner, anxious avoidant dynamic. Welcome. So glad you're here. Start checking that out here on my YouTube channel. I have a lot of videos. Very great question. Going through, just racking for questions really quick. I could probably take one more. Amal, question. I've been chronically single for 20 years now, highly disorganized, too old to have kids. What are the benefits of working through attachment issues for people in this situation? I love that question. I love that because my coaching clients who come to me in their late 60s and in their 70s, even their late 70s, and they ask me that, Adam, is it too late? And I say it is never too late to begin experiencing the fullness of love and intimacy with family, friends, a partner, anybody in your life. And it's never too late to have legacy, even if you don't have children. Children do not have to be the only legacy. People you mentor, people you help, people you love and they blossom, people you change their life forever. The forest you plant does not have to be biological. It can be emotional, spiritual, philosophical. The forest you plant is human beings, yes, but you can grow at any age. There is no upper level to this. My oldest client was 78 years old and terminally ill with 1 year to live. And we built an incredible life and legacy for her together to build that and go through that together. That year changed everything. It was the best year of her life. I know that this works. And I know it's never too late. Breaks my heart when people are afraid it's too late. It's not too late. No matter who you are, it's not too late. That's not how this game works. So with that in mind, I'm looking at the Maria, if I missed it, how much is the retreat? Click that link. There's a few things that make the change. So I can't give you just one hard number. There's a few variables in there. We can talk about that. Send me an email, support@adamlanesmith.com. We'll walk you through it and we'll show you what your options are. I want to make sure you get your needs met. So go in there and click in that. So click the retreat, pop in, send us an email. We are here to help. Everybody, don't forget, you can email me and my team, support@adamlanesmith.com. support@adamlanesmith.com. You can email us any question you have. Please reach out, contact us. Let's talk. Let's grow together. Let's learn. All these frameworks right here that I have, they are yours for the waiting and for the taking. So let's talk soon. Everybody, it's been a wonderful time talking with you from everywhere you are. I just don't want to miss anything, man. Angel. One last question. I saw someone ask, is it normal after the turning point conversation for my husband to be resistant to my changes, goading me to respond in the same manner? Very, very normal. Actually, that's one reason people usually need a mentor, a coach, or someone to help them. They usually need coaching, which is why if you pick up the retreat, you can also pick up some coaching with us if you choose to. You usually need some guided support and help to understand what's normal and not. But usually you say, I'm going to make a change. Here's what I'm doing. This is going to shift. This is going to shift. And they go, yeah, let's see. And they try and push. It happens a lot. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Sometimes it means you're doing something right. 100%. Thank you, Adam. I'm subscribed. I'll be sharing with others. I love that. Thank you. Subscribe to the newsletter, everybody. It's free content. I put out so much free content. Make sure you're taking advantage of it on adamlanesmith.com. Don't miss out. We are here to help. Wonderful talking with all of you. Absolute love to all of you guys. I will talk to you all again very, very soon. Until then, practice some secure attachment, and we'll talk